Thanks very much.
To the new flagship store of Sports Direct here in Oxford Street. You feeling it?
Yeah, it's a beauty. It's a peach, and I like seeing my face on the screen. You know, and the face on the screen and the highlights of the fight there. It's class. But no, this is a great store, and you know, I'm looking forward to getting in amongst it and seeing what I can pick out.
I'm sure they'll give you a few free stuff here. Josh, let's talk about your partnership first of all with Everlast, an iconic brand like Everlast.
Yeah.
Great to see them back in boxing and making a real statement in the sport, signing fighters almost weekly. And you're one of those fighters, but Everlast to be back in boxing in this kind of way is a great thing for the sport.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. You know, Everlast is as I've said many times, that Everlast is the biggest brand in boxing. You know, biggest and best brand in boxing. Muhammad Ali used Everlast back in the days and stuff. So yeah, it's good to be the flagship of Everlast and being the face of it again and being at the back of me. I'm very proud that they're at the back of me and supporting me on the rest of my journey. So yeah, it's good to have them on board, and yeah, I'm excited for the rest and see what moving forward, and excited for the rest in the future.
So has it been confirmed that you're the face of the Everlast boxing?
Yeah, I think
side?
I should be. I think I should be the face of it. Handsome buyer like me.
Absolutely. Welcome Danielle as well.
Hi,
Hi, you okay?
I'm good, thank you, I'm good.
Great to hear. Right, let's backtrack a couple of months ago now. What a night.
Yeah.
What do you remember now?
I just remember getting my hand risen, you know, and saying the new undisputed champion. You know, that was I loved hearing that. You know, my whole life, my whole adult life, hard work and sacrifice paying off. So yeah, it was. I felt like I was on top of Mount Everest. It was brilliant.
It was a really edgy kind of, a little bit aggy fight week.
Yeah.
Not from you, obviously.
No, not for me. I'm never aggy on fight week. I never get like that. But no, it was good. It was all part of the game plan to get inside his head, to make him more aggressive, and it worked a treat, and that's how it worked in the fight. And I think that's how I got the 2 knockdowns as well. He was so eager to come towards me and get on top of me and try and hit me, and I used his aggression against him. That's what I was saying I was going to do all week.
So you're telling me it was all a plan. Your argument with Rick Ramos, which kicked it off where everyone was talking about it. But all the but that's how you are during a fight week. People were going, oh, look at Josh, is losing it. But if you watch kind of any of your fight weeks, this is how you get fired up for it. Yeah,
it's how I get fired into it. I get my mindset changes, you know, it's because I've done all the training and I'm getting close to making the weight, so I get a little bit, you know, crabby, and I'm just ready to fight at that time. I'm just ready to go in and fight. So the mindset changes as to I just want to go in and get the job done now. You know, I don't like to do all the talking and all the stuff. I just want to go in and get the job done.
At what part of the build-up did it really dawn on you what's on stake here? Because a lot of pressure for you, a lot of pressure for your trainer Ben Davidson as well. When did it kind of dawn on you that this is a fight for you to be kind of king of that division?
I think I always knew the magnitude of the fight, but it really kind of sank in when I landed in Vegas. When I landed in Vegas and I got to the house that we're staying in, I thought, oh, it's real now. You know, it's here. It's not just thinking about it. It was once we got to the house, and I had a few days to sort of think about and process what was coming up. And yeah, it took I got a little bit of waving nerves when I first arrived, you know, because I was so it's here now. There's no turning back. I've got to go for it. And I took a couple of days to process what was coming up, and I took my time to get mentally ready. And by the time fight week came, there was no nerves and there was none of that kind of nervousness. It was just focus and ready to go.
Let's talk about the fight itself. I mean, the notable moment from the fight was the sensational uppercut that floored Ramirez, which was in a clinch. And I know a lot of people saying, we'll say a lot of people, a few people were saying that, you know, you should have possibly given him a second, but why would you do that? I mean, you have to protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, that's
he
it.
didn't. It was almost a show rule uppercut. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I never felt the referee touching or anything like that. He never said anything. So again, it's protect yourself at all times. The first rule of boxing is protect yourself at all times. And he switched off. He thought because we were in the clinch, and he thought the referee was going to come in. But I took a step back, a sort of half step back, and created some space and threw the uppercut, and it landed a peach and put him on his backside. So yeah, it was a great shot, perfectly legal, and protect yourself at all times. For those that were moaning about it, it's protect yourself at all times.
We know how tough Jose Ramirez is. You didn't get the stoppage, but you got kind of a dominant win. So was that good enough for you?
Yeah, it was good enough for me. I thought the 2 counts were actually too long, but there's no point in moaning about it. I got the right result, so it's irrelevant. But I thought the second one was definitely far too long, but it was fine that we moved on, and we got the fight done and we got the right result. So yeah, it was irrelevant if I got the knockout or not, but I thought I was the clear winner. I thought I only lost a couple of rounds.
In just 18 fights, you've accomplished an undisputed tag that not many fighters of this generation accomplish. So that alone, to accomplish that in a very short amount of fights, what does that mean to you?
I don't think it's quite sunk in yet. You know, it's because I've been doing a lot of this stuff since I've been back. There's been a big reaction with the media, and a big, you know, sort of celebrating, sort of looking round and going, doing here, this and everywhere, doing these kind of stuff. So it's been kind of just a whirlwind since I've been back. So I've not had time to sit back and reflect and sort of think about what I've achieved, you know. But when I do have a little moment here or there, I'm like, wow, I've done it. But I think once I get back and I've done all the media stuff, I'll get back and a wee bit time to myself. That's when I'll probably realise what I've done. But it does mean the world to me, because I've trained my whole life and prepared for this moment. So I'm very proud of myself.
You said it hasn't quite sunk in yet, but from the moment you walked from the ring to your dressing room, what was going through your head, if you can remember that?
Just mission accomplished. You know, it's all my, like I said, all the years of hard work and dedication and sacrifices, and you know, just all led to that point, and it was just like, job done. And I got a little bit emotional. I don't know if you've seen the videos and that. I hugged my coach Terry. I says, I've done it, and it kind of just kind of let all out and had a little cry to myself. You know, it was good. It was a really, really nice feeling. I'm very proud of feeling to say, wow, I've done it. I couldn't quite believe that I had done it.
There's not been too much footage of your post-fight celebrations. Is there a reason for that?
No, there wasn't too many. It was just in the hotel, and I was probably in my bed after 2 beers. But yeah, it was good. It was a good couple of days after Vegas. We enjoyed it, and we got back, and I got to see my friends and family when I got back, which was nice, because they weren't there to enjoy the celebrations and share the moment with me. So once I got back, I saw my friends and my family, and that was really nice to see that.
Obviously, straight after your fight, everyone's asking what's next, etc.
Yeah.
You've spoken yourself about Terence Crawford, which would be an unbelievable fight. Terence Crawford, who's obviously been in your situation as undisputed, you're undisputed. Is that a fight that you would relish?
Yeah, I would love to have that fight next, if possible, even next, if possible. But I think we've got to do the mandatories next, take care of the mandatories. But I would love to. If that fight came about tomorrow, I would take it in a heartbeat. You know, I think it's a great fight, and I think it's a very, very winnable fight for me. Everything's always a step too far, and this might be a step too soon for Josh. And this guy's good and that guy's good, but I'm a good fighter myself, and I believe I can win that fight.
We know the problem with being undisputed is that the mandatory situation becomes quite thick and fast, and we know you have Jack Catterall there, and Jack Catterall, fair play to him, because he kind of steps aside to allow certain situations to happen. We're assuming that you will honour that with Jack Catterall to fight him at some point as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to honour it. You know, he was fair enough, and he agreed to step aside and let that fight happen for all the belts. So I would like to sort of honour what I said, you know, and do that next. But having said that, if something bigger comes along, like the Terence Crawford fight, I'll take that next. I'll vacate and take that next straight away. You know, but I'd like to honour my word of what I said and fight Jack and keep my promise as to, you know, fight the winner. I'd like to keep that promise.
Now you've become undisputed, we know that mandatories will be chucked at you, but is it a case of assessing each fight and saying whether that fight kind of progresses your career, and if it doesn't, then there is a possibility you may vacate?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, you know, like I'm not in a rush. We've got all these mandatories to do, which I don't have any choice. I've got to do them. Like I want to say, I want to keep progressing and keep moving forward and setting new challenges and new goals. So I would like to sort of maybe just vacate belts and move up and challenge myself at another weight. But there's also big fights at this division as well that can happen. So we'll just take it as it comes and see what happens.
We have to mention Ken Buchanan because obviously an absolute legend of Scottish boxing. Have you had dialogue with him since the win?
Well, he's actually coming down to my house when I get back on Sunday. It's Saturday? Saturday, yeah. He's coming down on Saturday. We're going to have something to eat and some coffee and tea and whatever, and we'll have a good chat and catch up. We've not spoke for over a year. I've not seen him for over a year now, so it'd be good to get a catch up with him and see what he has to say, and I'm looking forward to that on Saturday and catching up with him, yeah.
Danielle, I'll bring you in. How does it feel to be nearly husband, or no, nearly future husband to the undisputed king of the light welterweight?
Yeah,
division?
no, it's good. It's we've obviously been together for quite a long time now, so it's just lovely to see how his career's progressed and how far he's came from when we first got together. You know, when we first got together, he was amateur, just going to the New Delhi. It was the New Delhi Games in 2010, and to be where he is now, and be now the undisputed king of the world, basically. You know, so it's very, very, very proud of what he's achieved.
You've been through all those years, would have seen the ups and downs, the stuff that we as the public don't see, but was there any kind of moment where you thought, where Josh is kind of, not down because he's obviously undefeated in his professional career, but just moments in his career where you thought to yourself, like, you've had to advise him and say, look, just have the faith, basically?
Yeah. I can remember it was after the Olympics in 2012. He never got the result that you wanted, and I can remember saying to him, well, he said to me, that's it, I'm done, I'm finished, that's it. And I was like, no, you need to keep going. You've got so much more in the bag, keep going and just keep plodding away. I know it's hard just now because obviously you just lost at the Olympics, but there's so much more on the horizon that you've got to look forward to. So here we are.
Josh, it is a bit of a cliche story.
Nice, wasn't it?
It is a bit of a cliche story, but having a strong partner like obviously you do helps in your personal life, which kind of relates then to your boxing life.
Yeah, definitely. At times, especially at times when you feel like you're doing it on your own and you feel you don't get the results or whatever. And all your friends are away going on holiday and doing this and buying new cars and doing this and doing that. And you never had any money to go and put petrol in your car to get to the gym, and you're like, why am I doing this? You question it and stuff, and you think about maybe every now and again giving it up and doing something else. But it's good to have somebody there that says, no, keep the faith and keep going, you're doing well and it will come, the good things will come. So yeah, it's been really, really good for me. It's been really good.
Now, I want you to explain the story of who you ran into last night. I do want to throw this in here. Explain the story of who you ran into, and if you could give us a watered down version of what happened.
Yeah, I bumped into Logan Paul last night. It was Logan Paul, man, wasn't it? Logan. I can't remember which one they are. But it was Logan Paul. I think he walked past, and I says, 50-1 Logan Paul, and he come over and we had a good laugh, we had a good chat. So yeah, it was a good laugh last night. Yeah.
That is the watered down version.
That's a watered down version.
That's not the version you told me about 5 minutes ago.
It's the truth as well, It's I shouted over 50-1. The first guy beat Mayweather, and they come over for a laugh, and we ended up having for a laugh for about 45 minutes to an hour, and sitting having a chat. Yeah, it was good.
Good. We're going to open the floor now for any questions to Josh Taylor or to Danielle, does anyone want to kick us off? Yeah.
So the fight between you and Jose Romero was quite iconic and historic. Were you disappointed with the lack of promotion Top Rank for fight?
No, I thought Top Rank did. When I was in America, it felt like the fight was huge. The Top Rank did a great job at promoting the fight and making it feel like a big deal, like it was. You know, we were doing this, that, and going to the other things and press conferences and doing the little sort of mini documentaries and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty big. It felt pretty big over in America. I don't know how it felt here, but it felt pretty big over in America.
I just want to add to this because you made your comments clear about the lack of kind of major UK broadcasters. Shout out to Fight TV that actually showed it. But you made your comments clear about that, and I think that was almost overemphasised where people were kind of talking about that situation.
Well, I just don't know what the whole thing was about. Because I was involved in the fight, I didn't know what was happening back home, you know. But I was expecting, you know, a big TV broadcaster to have picked it up over here, given the magnitude of the fight. But you know, it's a lot of people have seen it, and a lot of people have acknowledged the achievement and acknowledged the fight. So yeah, I'm happy with the response it's had and happy with what's went on. So yeah, it's been good since the fight. It's been really good. But now the deal with Sky Sports and Top Rank has been announced. I remember my fight will get shown on Sky Sports now, so yeah, it'll be good, and many more people get to see it, and people who didn't get to see it will now be able to get to see it.
Absolutely.
Josh, similar point to what you made there. Our brand recently asked the question, why not BBC talking about Josh Taylor, obviously not the best British boxer alive, but as clearly been that the media coverage probably hasn't fairly reflected that for you. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's I just focus on what I'm doing. I just focus on letting my hands do the talking. You know, I've never been one for jumping in front of the cameras and putting on a show. So I let my boxing and results do the talking, and that's the way I like it. You know, but I'm not sure. It really doesn't bother me that much, to be fair.
How do you feel? Obviously, you mentioned you met Will before last night. Was there any kind of banter or bitterness between the two of you because the headline has been dominated by Scotland?
No, nothing at all. Nothing at all. You know, Logan Paul's a very good businessman, a very clever man. He's done very well for himself. So yeah, good. He's fair play to him. Fair play to him. Yeah, fair play to him. Yeah.
Come back to you.
Yeah, so after watching the fight, there was a clear bias towards Jose Romero and the referee and the judges. Do you feel like you should maybe fight most of the fights in the UK, especially the big ones, if there's going to be a bias towards an American fight?
Nah, that always kind of happens. It's boxing, things like that. Things like that happen. You know, the home fighter does get a little bit of an advantage. Although I thought he had a lot of advantage there. Everything was in his favour except from who came out to the ring last. You know, that was everything was in his favour. You know, it's you expect that when you're the away fighter, and I always said I'm not going to leave it to the judges. I got the right result, so that's all that matters at the end of the day. That's all that matters.
Just aside from boxing, Josh, I'm sure you watched England-Scotland. England lucky to get the point in the end. What did you make of Scotland's performance?
I thought they were very well. I thought we were unlucky not to get the 3 points. You know, I thought we did brilliant. You know, so they should be proud of themselves, and they're proving to be a strong side. Although we have to win tonight, and I think we can win and we will win. So yeah, they've done well. They've played well.
Yes.
If he comes up to 140, yeah, then no problem. It's just whatever's happened with me and my team at the time, and what I feel what's right for me. You know, if that came about, and I think that's the fight to do, and that's the fight to happen, that's what we'll do. If I feel that's the right thing to do, and I think everything's all right on the table, we'll do it. But at this moment in time, I'm looking to do other things, you know, sort of do my mandatories and then move up to 147 and chase big fights up there and set new goals and new targets. That's what I'll be looking to do. But if it comes around and them things don't happen, then why not? And everything's right, why not?
Josh, let me just ask you, do you feel like you've completed that division now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing else to prove, and I've beaten all the top contenders on the way as well. I've beaten unbeaten fighter after unbeaten fighter on the way to getting here. So I don't feel I've got any proving left to do at this weight category. You know, I've beaten the best on the way up. So yeah, I feel like there's nothing left to prove at 140. I think I'd love Hampden as well, but I think it's just a little bit too big. You know, it's I don't know what it would be there. Probably a 65,000 seat arena, and then the pitch. So it's not quite 80,000 at Wembley, but I think it would be a little bit too big. But I would love to fight at Edinburgh Castle. I think just with the scenery in the background, the castle lit up, and walking down out into the Esplanade and getting bagpiped in or something like that, it would just be iconic. I think it would be amazing. Definitely an event, once in a lifetime event.
Yeah, talking about mandatories, Josh, aside from Jack Cattrall, obviously it looked like Lewis Ritson was going to be your other mandatory, but he suffered a loss to Jeremias Ponce. I think I saw you put on social media after that win something like easy work.
Yeah.
What do you think of Jeremias Ponce?
Well, he came forward and he'd done the job, he'd done well, but for me he just looked very wild and wide open and open for shots, you know, like sort of windmilling at times. But he got the job and done it well. But I just think I feel unbeatable at the minute as well. I feel Umar, that's how I feel at the minute. I feel unbeatable. So I just think anybody that challenges me at the minute, it's not got a chance. I feel I'm on top of the world and I'm on great form. I'm just getting better and better. I feel like I'm just getting better and better all the time.
Were you surprised that Ritson lost?
I thought it would have got through the fight, yeah. But to be fair to Ponce, he did well. He did well, and he hit him with good shots, and he got the job done and got him out of there. So you've got to give credit where it's due, you know. So I thought Ritson was going to pull through, but he obviously never. It is boxing after all. You never know. There's always that uncertainty of what's going to happen.
Josh, you responded to a tweet from Tom Gray from the Ring magazine about Gervonta Davis's fight for the WBA, which obviously we know is the regular title. I mean, what's your thoughts on the fact that fight's kind of being sanctioned with that belt when we all know that you have all the belts?
Yeah, it's been touted as a world title belt, a world title fight, but it's not. There's only one champion at 140 in the 140 division, and that's myself. You know, if I've got all the belts, how can there be a world championship belt in 140 division while I'm sitting with all these here? And that's what I think. That's what's wrong with the sport today. There's too many belts and too many champions in weight categories. It's diluting the sport. I get why fighters want to do it, and because it gives them a ranking and gives them ranking and some kind of clout, and you know, call themselves champions and raises their profile and things like that. But it is diluting the sport with all these belts and all these champions and franchise champions and regular and super and all that stuff. It's diluting the sport a little bit.
So if you were in a situation where you were challenging earlier on in your career for the WBA regular title, you win that title, you wouldn't consider yourself a fully fledged world champion?
No, I wouldn't consider myself a fully fledged world champion. No, but what it does do, it puts me in the window to get these fights, to get the big fights and get these rankings and push to fight for the titles. So it puts you in a strong position, a negotiating position with who's getting the fight next. So if you're coming through and you get the chance to fight for these titles, you're going to go for it. So it's not the boxer's fault. I think it's the sanctioning bodies coming away with all these belts and titles. There's too much. It's too much.
Just before we go back to the floor, your management company MTK have obviously played a huge part over the years in your career. So what credit do you give them to where kind of you've achieved your levels now?
Oh, they've been brilliant. You know, it's they've taken all my worries and stresses away from me. You know, and just purely focus on the boxing, and everything they've promised, they've delivered and more. So I want to thank them. Take this opportunity to thank them. They've been nothing but brilliant for me. And the old saying, "The happy fighter is a dangerous fighter." You know, I've never been so happy and enjoyed what I'm doing so much in my career. You know, and it's telling them my results and in the gym and things like that. I'm just happy. So I just want to say thank you very much to MTK for doing a great job and guiding my career and making it brilliant. So yeah, it's been great since I've signed up with them.
Yes.
So the sport for choice, lately boxing on, for entertainment's sake, of course you're doing full-time rugby, Tyson's made a comeback, Rose on his thing, Anderson Silva shot the ball over the weekend as well. For yourself, positives and negatives, do you see it as more an area? Do you think it distracts from, seeing competition?
No, I think it's good. You know, in terms of competitive fights, they're not competitive opponents. You know, but it's good for the sport. It's bringing new audiences and more interest and stuff like that into the sport. So I think it's good because it's bringing more interest into the sport and new sets of eyes, new fans, and these people are maybe following Jake and Logan Paul, young kids. I don't know what is to do on YouTube, but you're getting these guys that are their fans and their followers and subscribers following the sport, and if a few of them take interest in the sport and start following it, it's only good for the sport to grow it.
On Instagram, you spent a bit of time at UFC PI. How's your experience down there?
Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah, the best gym I've ever been to. You know, it was brilliant. You know, it had everything. You know, it had the cold pools, the hot pools, the water treadmills, the best of gear, the best of equipment. You know, it was just it was a really good place, and met a couple of cool fighters and that as well. So yeah, it was good.
Josh, someone who hasn't been mentioned is Ben Davidson yet. I know you haven't been with him for ages. You come as a phenomenal fighter to him anyways. But obviously I've been down to gym many times. You've done so much film study with him, and he, in the build-up, continuously said that we're going to use Jose's aggression against him, which is effectively what happened. How much has Ben helped you in becoming undisputed champion?
He's been a massive help. You know, I think I was, like you said, I was a good fighter when I already went to him, but you can never stop improving. You can never stop improving. The head that Ben's got on his shoulders, you know, it's just he's like a 50-year-old man in terms of the way he describes things, his knowledge of the sport, the way he breaks things down to the bare minimums, back to the fundamentals, and really improved me as a fighter. And tactically, he's been spot on, and technically he's been spot on. Working on my technique, things I'm doing well, but I can do better. Working on my strengths and my weaknesses. So I think he's been brilliant. You know, it's a great partnership, and like I said, I've never been happier in my whole career. So yeah, he's been brilliant. He's a really good trainer.
Have you seen him since the fight?
I've not seen him since I've been back home. You know, I've been back home, so I've been doing things like this since I've been back home. So I've not seen him, but I'll be back in the gym in the week or two, and back down to earth with a bang, and he'll be putting me through my paces again.
People said, you mentioned Wayne Davis. I feel like that's probably the biggest financial fight I've won. So how does the fight between you and Davis go?
Sorry?
The fight between you and Wayne Davis, how does that fight?
I think he's a good fighter. He's very talented. He's strong at his division, but I just think he's a little bit too small, I think. But you know, you never know. He could catch me a shot and it could be game over, and you never know. You know, it is boxing after all. It only takes one punch. But I think he's a good fighter, but I think he's a little bit too small for 140.
He does carry a lot of financial, he does have a lot of pulling in that fight issue of looking.
Just see what comes. Like I said, if anything, what happens at the time and it's right for me, I'll take the fight. I'm not going to duck or avoid anyone. You know, I'll fight anyone. I believe I can beat anyone. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to rule it out.
Okay, we're going to have to wrap it up there because you're still celebrating the 0-0, aren't you?
No, a little bit, yeah.
Well, I'll give you the opportunity if you've got anything else you want to add before we finish, Josh or Daniel.
No, just thanks to everybody for the support that supported me to this point in time. and I'm looking forward to the future. And thanks to Everlast for holding this today, and Sports Direct. It's been good, and may the future be bright. You know, so yeah, let's.
Danielle?
What are you talking about?
Right, well, thank you very much for coming out this morning. A little bit of an unusual time start, but thank you to Everlast here at Oxford Street and also Sports Direct, MTK Global, Josh Taylor, the future wife, Danielle, and yeah, thank you very much for attending today.